Well, we can't wait to see how both the Sydney Swans and Collingwood perform in season 2016. Our Super Saturday continues from the SCG. Plenty of noise as the Swans run out onto the ground. And they, well, there's questions over the Swans, of course. They're without some of their stars tonight. Collingwood really sensing there's an opportunity. The Swans, though, still with a dominant midfield, and it'll be interesting to see whether they can get them over the line or not. So let's have a look at how they will line up tonight, starting with the Sydney Swans. Players like McVeigh, Reid, Richards, Rowan and McGlynn absent, which gives the opportunity for some of their youngsters to come into that team. We see Mills, we see Papley. He was impressive as a young man pushing up during the NAB Challenge. And guys like Robinson, Towers also carrying a bigger load, and also young George Hewitt. So there's a lot of youngsters lining up for the Sydney Swans. Collingwood are a young team as well, but they certainly look very well balanced, and the addition, as we mentioned, of Adam Treloar could well be significant to the Magpies' chances. Of course, still no Ben Reid at this stage, but that is a pretty good-looking lineup. Jared Witt's preferred over Brodie Grundy in the ruck. That's maybe a little bit of a surprise, but the Pies and the Swans are just about ready. And you can see Scott Pendlebury, such an important player for them, but he's surrounded by young talent, two ex-Giants there in Taylor Adams and also that man, Adam Treloar. They're going to take on the experienced, dominant midfield, the senior midfield from the Sydney Swans, led by Josh Kennedy and Kieran Jack. We know there's no McVeigh, but Dan Hanbury and Tom Mitchell complete a very, very strong midfield. So that's certainly an area of the game. We're just about set to go. Let's join our commentators. Saturday night footy from the SCG. Enjoy.
Set to go. Ripping contest on offer here. Witt's doing the ruck work for Collingwood. Tippett there as well. Parker immediately onto it. And there is Jack. Sold some very nice candy and goes long and direct. Frost out, muscled by Buddy. Saw it better. Buddy directly in front.
Oh, this is a great start. Great to see him out there. He's fit. He feels fresh. But that was a great kick. Lost it by Jack. That was just sensational. Fakes the handball. And Buddy, surprised he was able to get one-on-one isolation with all those numbers down there.
Just lost a touch on his body. Here is Buddy. Look at this. They're going to get to him. They've come from all directions. Welcome back, big boy Buddy Franklin.
Well, that's the perfect start for the Swans out of the middle of the ground. And with all those numbers back inside 50, they had three deep forwards, the Sydney Swans. This was terrific by Jack. Fakes the handball. But look at that. Plenty of numbers inside 50, but Franklin had a one-on-one. If he gets that, he is going to be able to kick the goal every time.
You could not write the script any better than that if you're a Sydney Swans fan. You want Buddy up and about. He got one lace out. And how good is that to see the superstar of the game with a big smile on his face. He's up and he's kicked the first goal for the Sydney Swans here tonight inside the first 38 seconds.
You can see crisp on Hanbury here on this broadcast side wing.
And Parker again, clean hands on the footy. They surge it forward. Tippett had a fresh air swing at that one. Surprising starter in the first ruck. They pile in over the top and one won't come out.
They all got around him, the boys.
Meter, Jared, meter.
They know what he's been through, Buddy, and they're rapt to have him back out there.
Like a guy kicking his first goal, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Got a good look at the strength of Kurt Tippett there. He's a big, powerful unit. Got rid of Jared Witts, who's no small man himself. He stands at 209 centimetres and 111 kilos.
There is Witts. Pendlebury. Witts again. Sharp hands. Hanbury perhaps didn't have it. Parker, Kennedy, and that's a definite free to Blair. A bit of attention he's getting from Kennedy as well. So Jared Blair, who's lost an incredible amount of weight in those legs. He had little tank legs last year, Richo, and his shorts are falling off this year. As all the players have. It's been much talked about in the pre-season, the skinnier bodies.
Yeah,
leaner bodies.
A lot of players have lightened off. I mean, the running work rate of these players is extraordinary now. You can't afford to carry any excess weight at all.
Sinclair couldn't hang on there. Frost backs him up. Did really well, Frost. Looking to give it back to Sinclair. Got a bit of an EPL European soccer look about him, the way he's got the hair tonight. Here's Marley Williams, their regular half-back flanker. He was caught with the foot. He gives away a free here. I think it'll be Parker's ball.
And this is the Swans' strength. It always has been. They just make it so hard for teams to transition the ball from one end of the ground to the other. terrific pressure team, always been good defensively.
Yeah, I think forward pressure is going to be a big factor tonight. Parker, again, a nice little lace that one for Bart, and he wants to mark the spot, Richo, because he's got a feeling he could wind up and kick this.
He's got the distance, and right now he's got a heap of adrenaline running through his body. He can kick this easily, buddy. The house will come down if this goes through.
He was second in the Brownlow in 2014 in his first year at Sydney. He's got a lead that he wants to pick off. And Isaac Heaney was a man. The kick fell well short. And it's been taken down there by Taylor Adams. Former Giant, one of a number of former Giants now at Collingwood. Adam Treloar, the latest side bottoms, had an enormous summer. One of the hardest working players in the AFL is still side bottom. He finds his old mate, the skipper, Scott Pendlebury.
Not letting them kick the ball sideways, Sydney, manning up through the corridor there. Forced him to go long towards the boundary line. Blair did well at ground level. He's very clean. Onto the very talented side bottom. Wobbles one in towards centre half forward. Fast hands. Sydney away. Good team play. Tippett. Nice ball. Here's Sinclair. Looks deep, but he's not there. So where does he go? High ball to the smalls. Sydney on the march here. Almost Jack. Kennedy had the ball smothered. At ground level again. Well done on that occasion by Papley. The first gamer. And another one from Mills. But this one's offline. And the minor score.
Yeah, good to see some young players getting involved in that play. Mills and Papley, two first gamers. And you need to get a touch early in your first game. The longer it goes on, you get more nervous, so they'll be feeling better about themselves straight away.
Swans have 3 debutants tonight. You just saw 2 of them combined in Papley and Mills, and this is a star on the rise in Isaac Heaney getting involved.
And I think Papley's in the team to provide that forward pressure that McGlynn would have provided.
Yeah, a little bit of a Paul Piopolo type role. I heard the Sydney Swans hierarchy talk about during the week as the Pies change direction. They get it out to half-back, and Crisp, what a great year that man had, Jack Crisp, last year. He was talked about as the steak knives in the Dane Beams deal, and he went on to be third and the best and fairest.
Sydney are just set up brilliantly well at the moment, defending the ground perfectly. They are playing almost this entire game so far in their forward half of the ground, really on the Swans at the moment.
They've trapped it again, Lee, and it's going back inside 50 over the head of Buddy on that occasion. Good tackle applied on Frost, although he might have been taken high. He was. And Jack Frost to take the free kick.
Yeah, they don't look like exiting their back half of the ground at the moment, the Pies.
So why is that, Lingy and Richo? Why is it tough for them to get it out at the moment?
Well, they've just got a great setup across the ground. They're not letting them get that outlet kick out the other side. They're making them head straight back down the line like this, BT.
Okay, and here they go again to the contest. And this is a change because they normally don't like to kick the contest.
And Lee, you're down at ground level. The SCG is an unusual shaped ground, isn't it? It's very short in terms of length, wide in the width part of it, so it's a bit of an advantage Sydney who train here every week.
Absolutely, Darcy. You can compact the ground really easily here, and that's exactly what Sydney are doing. But now Collingwood are just getting a little bit spooked when they do have the footy. They don't want to take the game on quite as much because Sydney are defending well.
Rare that Pendlebury can't get it away, and he did in the end on that occasion. McCaffrey let it go. Saw Gaunt coming at the footy. Couldn't win at handball, and that'll be a legging. So free kick will go to Rampy.
So we haven't had a look at the Collingwood forward line yet, but they've gone with the 3 talls at the moment. We've got Gould, Moore and Cloak all down there, but they haven't. Look at that. That's why they haven't had a look at it. 3% of the time forward of centre for Collingwood.
Gold there being upgraded from the rookie list just a couple of weeks ago, Richo. Good form in the pre-season.
Yeah,
he looked over 20 goals in the pre-season.
Looked good down at Geelong.
Rampy now, high ball. Here's Bunty again, and we'll see the boundary umpire in action for the first time.
Yeah, so all the play, this part of the ground that you're looking at now, which is the Swans forward line, and as Lee and Richo, our experts, are pointing out, they have got a really good setup at the moment, Sydney. Hard for the Pies defence to penetrate through. Sinclair, the former West Coast Eagle. Towers getting involved. Buddy gets down, and well, he's copped one, Franklin. He's on all fours at the moment, holding an elbow, so have a look at that. Any thoughts on that, Lingy? You're down there a bit closer than us.
Yeah, it does. Just caught one in his right shoulder. It looks like it's from a hit. Yeah, you can see Frost's head and shoulder getting him just on the top there. I think it's just a knock. He's pretty keen to stay out on the ground.
That's good news. Here comes the new recruit, Adam Treloar. Outstanding start to his career at GWS. Swan came on, and Dane Swan got smashed in his first contest, and he's is really sore at the moment as well. Picks himself back up. Laidler ran right past him. Richo, he's in trouble. Dane Swans. Bad news for the Pies. Awkward footy to mark inside 50. Ramsey couldn't take it. Langdon's got an issue. Marley Williams with the tackle pressure. Here comes Parker. Ramsey did well. Showed some composure. And then he dropped it. So again, the intensity from Sydney here causing all sorts of problems for the Pies.
Yeah, just looking back here at the wing at Dane Swan, he can't put any weight through that right leg of his.
Right knee, I reckon.
Yeah, let's hope he's all right.
That's look good because he doesn't stay down like that.
He's hard, Swanee. He doesn't show when he's hurt.
So this is Tom Patley. He kicked 33 goals as a small forward for Gippsland in the under-18 competition. This is what he's in the side for. He gave it a good ride, Tom Patley. Just couldn't quite bend it left to right. Lingy went down to you again. Has a look at the Dane Swan injury.
He just gets caught underneath there, and he's in a lot of pain. Reaches straight for the foot and ankle, but it looks like ankle, knee, sort of everything. And
it does, looks like both.
Yeah, and on the bench, BT, he's in a lot of pain. And as you guys said, Dane Swan doesn't show a lot of pain, so he must be really hurting.
Had that anterior tweak about it too. And ankle locked in there at the same time.
Really concerning, that is, for a knee reconstruction. You hate to even guess, but you've got huge concerns about that.
The way he grabbed his foot, though, first, it might be a bit of foot problem there as well.
Pendlebury, Greenwood, sizzling ball. Spoil. Blair had another crack. Rampy went through without success on that occasion, and now the ball will have a ball up as deep as Collingwood have been to their forward end, really. And just see Dane Swan trying to walk it off there. You can see the ankle gets trapped and the knee gets tweaked. Your guess is as good as mine as to which is the more serious. Treloar now deep. Cloak being held off the ball and drop mark opportunity there as Fasolo missed it. I think it was Laidler that dropped the mark initially. It's going to come back. Side bottom gets onto it. And a little ball. Great control he showed to Fasolo in the pocket. So he'll go back and steady here. Swan goes into the rooms for some further attention. Now Fasolo here thinking about the pass. Eventually to the top of the square. Crisp's got it all to do, and Sydney going to bring it out, no problems at all.
Yeah, not under great pressure, so they'll get to centre wing where they have got the number advantage here, and Ramsey had no option apart from to give away a free kick, picked up by Hanbury. Parker's been prominent early, sweeping handball to the former Eagle. Sinclair, he's got Buddy in a good position. Brown did well, Buddy kept his feet, and getting back Sinclair for the Pies, and the rush behind was the only option, but they look really dangerous on the counter-attack here, the Sydney Swans.
They've got it up the middle here. Sinclair was quick to get it into play. Treloar now punch away. Rampy did really well. Sensational stuff from Rampy. Short little ball, Heaney. They've tried a couple of short passes inside 50, haven't come off. Rampy, beautiful centering ball. Up they fly. Another rush behind. Looks dangerous, that man, early.
We saw him with that sore shoulder, BT. He stayed on the ground, didn't come off at all, so it must have just been a knock, and as you said, still looking very dangerous. So Swans fans, you can rest easy. His shoulder is okay.
So the kick in, looking for the big man Witts, off hands and out of bounds. You just think the Pies would love to just get a little bit of time in possession here, Richo, and get a bit of the ball on their own terms at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. I guess the good thing, though, for Collingwood is it's been all Sydney, but the scoreboard's okay for the Pies. Their turn will come. At least they haven't been letting Sydney score.
The nil little draw in the ruck contest from the boundary thrown. Tom Mitchell picked it up and gained about 10 metres.
He doesn't miss Dane Swan, so let's hope he's all right. In the past decade, only Jared McVeigh and Corey Enright have played more games than Swanee, so he's been so durable throughout his career. We're not used to seeing him injured.
I saw Buddy saying to the runner then that his shoulder or collarbone was still worrying him. So he's not out of the woods just yet. Towers was mauled inside 50. Got the wall set up. Laidler out the back. So once again, Sydney get another entry inside 50. Tip at the target this time. Nothing in the air, so ground level ball. Neat handball came Frost's way. Now Fasolo's got it all to do out here. Taking on Smith. 3-on-2 wins out in the end for Collingwood. Crisp happy to soccer off the ground, and of course, is it deliberate under the new interpretation?
Yes.
And the umpire said he had no other thought of keeping it in play.
Oh, Lloyd's kick's dangerous, and Darcy Moore gets his first look, and Took the intercept mark with ease.
Yeah, he had to go sideways there, more. He had nothing in front of him.
Degoe handball out the side bottom. Set him a bit of a task, still side bottom. He's up for the challenge. Beautiful pass. And here is the little man, Jared Blair. And the first real chance for the Pies from an angle and a distance that wouldn't worry Jared Blair.
So there's Buddy now off the ground.
That's concerning.
It's like his collarbone, I reckon, or AC joint.
Played in the premiership, Jared Blair, in just his 12th game of AFL football. And he's a talented, competitive young man. The Pies really need a steadier here, and he's pushed it across the face. Disappointing result. Their first score in 2016. There's a behind as Buddy gets a bit more treatment.
So some of the stars already under injury clouds here. Swan down in the rooms. Buddy being examined on the bench as you saw. Towers sliding mark. Out a wing at the SCG. I think the boundary umpire is going to rule it was out of bounds. And it's just inside the shoulder, and hard to say whether it's collarbone or shoulder. The doctor's saying, can you lift your arms above the head? He said, I can, but not without pain. Degoe will be a force this year, as will this man Treloar. McCaffer in the leadership group now at Collingwood. Adams was nailed with the ball. He was lucky to survive the free kick there. Cunningham had it, and then they jump on him. So Franklin too is going down into the rooms now.
Yeah, I think there'll be some concerns maybe about Buddy Franklin's AC joint, and the fact they are taking him down underneath the stadium means that they have got something more to look at. It's Kieran Jack puts his head over the footy, side bottom. He's in great form still, side bottom to start the year. Taylor Adams' kick goes forward. Blair looks dangerous. Big pick up from Lloyd it was, and a free kick is going the way of Jake Lloyd. Really consistent performer, Jake Lloyd. Just missed 2 games since debuting in round 5, 2014. There's Jake Lloyd, spearing kick, looking for Tippett. One he should have marked through his hands. Parker tried to pirouette out with the footy, couldn't get it. Coming through was Brown. He got it back to Corey Galt. The Pies go inside 50 again. Another drop mark. This time Nick Smith. You rarely see him make a mistake, so maybe a little bit harder out there than it looks from up here. Zach Jones gets involved. Back to Nick Smith, former All-Australian, and his kick leaves the door open again. McCaffer, good to see McCaffer back out there for the Pies. Picked up by Blair. Blair snapped round the body. Awkward bouncing footy again for Smith, and his pile drive in a really good tackle from Darcy Moore. They're defending for their life back here. Well played, Lloyd. Gained a bit of space, BT, and they'll get out.
They look like they've got an extra or two back there at the moment, Sydney. Cunningham sends a long ball in. Papley bound the first gamer. He marks, and he's set on the set shot. No short ball to another first gamer in Hewitt. He too wants to play on. Have they messed it up? Sinclair, what's he got on the left? And you just think the young fellas, one of them should have settled.
Yeah, they were just too unselfish there. Certainly should have gone back and had a set shot. Look, Sinclair was out, but when you're 30 metres out, you probably go back and have a shot. Missed the target, and they missed an opportunity there because it was great transition run off half back, and then they had a loose player forward of the footy as well.
Adrenaline in the young kids, it's
yes.
hard to control.
Yeah, they're excited. First game.
Still sidebond again, getting involved, leading possession, gather on the ground. He's got 9 already. This is Darcy Moore. He's kicked it into the man on the mark. Darcy Michael Talia, former Bulldog. And he's kicked the centre wing. Ramsey couldn't quite gather it. Opens the door for Jack, and Jack did really well. Just spun out of trouble, took a bounce. Great play from the captain. He runs to half forward. He's got a target he likes inside 50. Towers just a little too tall for that man. Frost with some composure. Back to Marley Williams. And Marley played it really well.
Now they're away. Gee, they've missed a few opportunities passing the ball forward here. Sydney Hess for Solo. Good attention by Rampy. Doing well at Sydney half-back line once again. Towers has got a ball he can win. Does he get support? Runs past one. Here's Sinclair again. Was it too high? Umpire said legitimate spoil. Boundary line. Hot pace here at the moment, Lingy.
There are some exhausted blokes out there. You're right, BT. The ball going up and down the ground. Players running to the bench. Even with the lesser rotations, they still want to get off the ground because the intensity has been so high.
Yeah, good call, Lee. I think the Pies will feel weathered a bit of the storm here. They haven't had a huge amount of damage done on the scoreboard, Richo.
Yeah, spot on.
Well, they want to make sure they kick the next one. Lloyd to Sinclair. Browns are really negating defender. Kick around the body was smothered. Going back in and chasing it again was Hewitt. Here comes a young man by the name of Braden Maynard through. Lloyd tried to pick it up. Henry did to Mitchell. Mitchell will kick this, I reckon. He's got class. And he's done it, Tom Mitchell. The Swans kick their second goal.
Well done, Tommy Mitchell. It's a frenetic game, this one. It's been pretty sloppy. Neither team's really been able to get the ball and be composed and have good control of it. There's some tired boys out there, as Lingy said, but well done by Mitchell. Round the corner. It's a nice finish here. And I reckon Hewitt and Papley have looked lively up forward in their first game, so they've given the Swans a little bit of life, and 7 shots at goal to 1. They probably should have made more of this advantage they've got at the moment, Sydney.
There's Parker. Forward again here, Lloyd. Inside 50 around the corner. The first game was there again in Hewitt. Couldn't mark it off hands. Robinson did well. The turn, ball over the top. Knocked down, run through, and they goal again. And this time it's Papley. And Papley kicks his first career goal.
Well, there you go. Everyone gets around him. What a moment for him, his first goal. And as I just said, these two guys, Hewitt and Papley, they've been great down there. Papley 4 touches and a goal now. But they've just been lively. Pressure, harassment down inside forward 50. And that's so important now in modern football. You need small forwards who can tackle as well as kick goals.
Well, I just said a couple of minutes ago that they might have weathered a bit of a storm, the Pies, and then
All of a sudden,
the Swans kicked 2 goals in a minute. Tom Mitchell and Tom Papley on debut. What a great moment for that man, Richo.
yeah, 16 inside 50s, and we've still got a quarter of this quarter to go. 5 minutes. Just letting them in there far too easily at the moment, the Pies.
Well, now they need to respond desperately. They have to get one forward, and Treloar just muscled it in his team's direction for solo. Great courage, kept his eyes on the ball. He's got a long target in Darcy Moore. You can hear it's being called touch, and Moore had it clean. They haven't picked it up. He still doesn't know Darcy Moore. Now he got the handle off to Blair. Well done, young man. Kick to the goal square. Galt's got to fly from behind. Oh, beautiful hands. Luke Parker. He is an absolute A-grader, Richo.
Yeah, he can do it all. Kicks goals. We know he's so good overhead, and that was a great example of it there. That was a strong contested mark. Deep in defence. He's got to play on. They can't hear it out there. And now it's going to be thrown in.
Thrown in, guys. Just an update you can see on your screen there. Lance Franklin coming back onto the ground, straight from the bench onto the ground. And the other update, Dane Swan still in the rooms for the Pies, so they are down to 3 on the bench at the moment. Medial ankle sprain, probably high-grade ankle sprain is what is being reported at the moment. So more the ankle than the knee, but good to see Buddy Franklin back on the park.
Just under 5 minutes remaining here. Gee, they're working hard, Sydney, to get back and have more numbers than Collingwood at the moment. In this part of the ground, here's Taylor Adams, right on the boundary line. Look at the numbers everywhere for Sydney. Out of bounds, though, the umpire said before he kicked it. So it'll come back to about 60 metres out from the Collingwood goal.
Collingwood are getting hands on it around the clearances, getting first juice, but not being able to convert it into any sort of change to set up scores.
Tippett.
They got first hands there again. They're just not being able to make anything of it from here.
Lots of these sort of kicks.
Yeah, just
under
rush,
pressure,
under
high,
pressure.
whack it on the boot, just advance it forward.
That's
Henry
right.
searching for the free. The umpire was right there. He said nothing on. Look at the 3 or 4 waiting out the back door for Sydney. Unusual handball, but nevertheless effective to Lloyd. Lloyd, beautiful presentation to Isaac Heaney, but he wanted it. Nothing long here for Sydney.
Yeah, the Pies have got back well here. They'll go for the switch. They've got numbers out this side.
Had some injuries, Isaac Heaney, last year, but he has got the look of someone who could tear this competition apart. And he's that good. And now they have some space. Zach Jones has kicked to Papley there. Names you don't hear a lot of, and only because he's on debut. Papley, and that kick was a really good one. And he finds the target intended in Tippett. And that was a bit too easy from half-back all the way inside 50 without a lot of pressure.
It was a great switch. Collingwood defended it really well down the line, made the Pies switch it across here to Grundy, but then it was a bit too easy out this side of the ground. Results in Tippett getting a shot at goal.
They'd be really excited with Papley and Zach Jones and Callum Mills getting involved. They're all the new names and new faces. Tippett, he'd love to kick one in the first quarter. And he's just steered it to the right and minor score. So with 3 minutes 17 seconds remaining, it's a goalless first quarter for the Pies at this stage.
So good are they? Currently on the live ladder, their percentage, Das, just the 2,400 at the moment.
Just work that one out,
Just some quick arithmetic. Richo, help me out.
I'm not real good at that stuff, BT.
Harley Williams. Parker! What a launch. Sure hands.
He's a gun, Parker. Absolute gun.
Centering ball, so Sydney careful here. Once again, an opportunity for Mills. Buddy had it, gathers. Little poker along the ground. Witt's got down to deflect, I feel.
Did all the hard work there, Buddy. Got in the right position, just couldn't quite hold onto the mark. Good to see him back out there.
You just reckon Buddy hasn't played for a while. We know he missed a firing, and he would have charged at Witts when he's fully got a head of steam up, backed himself with the don't argue, and made a certainty of that. The Pies now just want the one-on-one with Pendlebury, and that is always a good option when Scott Pendlebury is involved. Beautiful kick to Jordan De Goey. So some of the class on display. This is Levi Greenwood, former Kangaroo. He likes his chances from here, Levi. Loads it up from 47, and the Pies do get their first goal late in the first quarter.
Yeah, nice goal there to Levi Greenwood. Ran through 50 and really composed himself before he kicked that one. An understatement to say they needed that. It's been all Sydney in this first quarter. The inside 50s are 18-9. 3 goals, 7. I think they may lament a little bit at quarter time. They haven't made more of this, the Sydney Swans, because you know that Collingwood will come at some stage in this game.
So there's the work of Greenwood.
Yeah, just got forward of the football there. Great finish.
Very nicely done. He needs to do a lot of that this year. So back in the middle, Collingwood's first goal, taking some 24 minutes of this first quarter. Adams, high ball for Solo high, but didn't really get near it. He's hurt himself as well. I reckon he's hit his head.
He landed horribly on his head there, and that is a real concern as well.
And that is a shocking feeling when that happens.
Oh, he's not well.
Really hurt him.
It's just a horrible landing, this.
Have a look at this, the launch. So there's the nice sip, but then you've got to land. And he lost control at the highest point. Oh, no. He has headbutted the ground, and that is horrible. Absolutely horrible. Blair, bundled out of the way by Parker. Robinson, that was Daniel, gave it out wide to Sinclair. Buddy's the target here. Frost went early. Buddy went late. Now Sinclair tidies up. Out of bounds it was. Out of bounds, and
I think
still out here is for Solo.
I think here we have another look at this here. I think he may be lucky that he did get his hand down to take a little bit of the impact off the top of his head there. Gee, that's horrible. It's a shocking feeling as a player.
And we've got some of the best medical experts in the country on hand, and they are not taking any chances at all.
Yeah.
So you can hear the umpire asking if the stretcher will be called, and
Well, they're going to stop it here, Dars.
that is fantastic news that he stood up.
There's Chris Bradshaw. He's been around AFL football for about 25 years, the doc. He was at Melbourne, Richmond, and Lingy knows him so well down at Geelong. One of the best in the business.
So, well, that is a great sight, isn't it, to see Alex Fasolo up and running. And okay. In the meantime, back deep in attack, the Swans picked up by Treloar. High ball, dangerous one into the corridor. Grundy picked it up cleanly. Fed it out to Lloyd. He had a short one on, just the required 15 to Kieran Jack. Kieran Jack's going to go back, I think, and you take his best effort from here, I would have thought.
Yeah, it'll take all of his range here. This will be a good finish to the quarter. They probably deserve this lead if Kieran Jack can kick this goal.
Son of rugby league royalty is Kieran Jack, captain of the Swans, won a best and fairest in 2010 and All-Australian in 2013, and he set sail for home. He's given it a really good ride. Just pulled it last minute.
So Braden Maynard, he's kicked it out of bounds on the full. So they're going to get another look here. Cunningham will, in the closing minute of this game, tries to spear it into Mitchell. Well knocked away, but Treloar felt the effects of that knock, and he too was down on his haunches, and now Frost. So they are under enormous pressure at the moment, Collingwood, and they're not coping well, Lingy.
No, they're not. And that bloke right there has yet to touch the football, Travis Cloak. He needs to give them that target up the line, just the bailout kick. Just give his teammates some confidence.
Down to the last 30-odd seconds. Witts trying to knock it to the boundary line, and they will do well to hold it up here.
Yeah, it was good by Witts to get down there. Support.
Really important 33 seconds this is. The Pies be desperate not to concede another one. I think they could handle the 19 points and regather themselves at quarter time. Little toe poke and kick into the corridor picked up, and an opportunity for Cunningham. And he's missed.
Gus, we've been very positive about the way Sydney have played this first quarter. I've just picked up on one thing about how good they have been. 21 inside 50s so far. Josh Kennedy, their superstar midfielder, hasn't had a possession yet. So they're sharing the load really well at the moment, the Swans.
So an even 20-point lead here. Closing on quarter time. 3-on-1 there again. Parker out the back, mops it up. Mitchell, just a ball magnet. Over the head there, and that one's not quite gone over the boundary line. Tried to keep it in there, Maynard. Siren sounds. Everything was happening in this quarter. Stars were getting injured. Buddy was kicking goals. It was on. A great quarter from the Sydney Swans. They lead Collingwood by 20 points. First goal of the game, this man here, Buddy Franklin, kicked it. Was goal number 707. Have a look at his delight. It was a set shot directly in front. He enjoyed the moment. It was a perfect drop, and teammates came from everywhere. Career goal, 707. Sensational stuff from Buddy Franklin. Let's get down to Cameron Ling. He's got an update on Swan and Fasola, and he's with Robert Harvey, I think, in just a moment.
Yeah, just about to be joined by Robert Harvey. He's just talking with the coaches at the moment. Rob, just an update on Dane Swan. That looked like a really nasty injury. Is he done for tonight?
Well, we haven't got much information as yet, but the information we've got is he's doubtful for the rest of the game, but we haven't got anything further than that, no.
Alex Fasola, also that awkward landing. His neck's okay. He ran back out and joined the group. He'll be right to go.
Spoke to Bill Davern, and we're expecting he'll be right for the rest of the game, so he's okay.
How do you slow the Swans up? 22 inside 50s there. What do you need to do?
Oh, well, nothing's gone right so far. I mean, particularly around the ball. We're minus 15 around the ball, but we've got to clean that up, and we haven't been able to lock it in our front off when we have got it there. So nothing's going right. We just got to get. Our mid's got to get our hands dirty, and we've got to get the ball out of our back 50.
Appreciate your time, Rob. Thank you.
So there you go. It's when you get beaten by 15 in contested possessions, you're not going to win a quarter of football, and 22 inside 50s to the Sydney Swans in a quarter. They've always been good at getting it in, but that is huge. So they've got a fair bit of work to do here, Collingwood.
Yeah, he did mention Robert Harvey there, Richo, about getting it out of their half-back line, and it's an issue for them. Marley Williams, much improved player at half-back, but someone with that genuine polish and skill is such an important role at the moment. They've talked about Scotty Pendlebury rolling through half-back just to give them that class there to work their way through.
Well, you need good ball users at half-back, but you need plenty of run as well, and they haven't been able to get that so far. Let's see what they can do here in this second quarter.
All right, we're ready to go. Umpire Jordan Bannister to let it rip in the middle of the ground. Tip it again here, won it easily. Kennedy, beautiful hands. Jack, the skipper, immediately out of the middle. Long ball. In comes Heaney, off hands. Marley Williams was there before it even hit the deck. Out the back, soccer off the ground. Papley, the young fella, has got another one. His second goal.
A horrible start for Collingwood. A centre clearance. Just get the ball in there and something happens. And Papley, he's been outstanding so far in this game. 6 possessions, 3 contested, 2 goals now. And he's just getting into the right spots. And I reckon he started off getting into the game by chasing and just putting pressure on. And when you do those things, things start happening for you offensively. And they'd be absolutely wrapped with him so far, John Longmire and the coaching staff.
So what about that for a start for Tom Patley? He's got 2 goals already. He was picked up in the rookie draft. And he's been compared with Paul Puopolo as an energetic small forward. And what a great start for that young man to his AFL career. Wits wins the clearance, which they need desperately, but it was Jeremy Laidler in the way. Now the Swans just worked their way out of side of the ground. Maynard got over the top of Cunningham, went back well and found it. Side bottom in the action for Solo, came in and picked it up. Great to see him moving without any issues. Side bottom gathers his 10th possession, gets it to half forward. Gold comes up, applies a pretty good tackle on Jones. Now Grundy back to another first gamer in Mills, who's a super talent. And they work it.
Well, they're out here.
And they've got numbers out everywhere.
They have indeed, and lots of space to go with it. Here is a big opportunity. Patley, who's causing real concern. Jack with a caressed little kick to Heaney. And he marks.
Heaney was on his own for 20 seconds then.
Kicks a long ball in now, high ball, and once again it's been marked by Hewitt, the first gamer. So the first gamer's running right here at the moment.
How good's this for Sydney? You've got Heaney in his second year, getting it over to Hewitt. Papley's already kicked a couple. It's great to see young players come in and have an impact in their first games.
So Hewitt almost played late last year, but just didn't quite get in against that really strong midfield that they had, Sydney.
Yeah, he's had really good form at NEFL level last year.
For his first goal at this level, nearing the boundary line. And there is the result.
He's really good around the clearances. He's got good hands, and his role is half forward. Maybe might roll into a couple of centre bounces, but mainly as a half forward.
Maynard, fullback, kick in short to Ben Sinclair. He missed 3 months with a hamstring injury last year, Sinclair. See him back out there. It's an adventurous kick to McCaffrey, and another debutant. They are absolutely on fire. This is Callum Mills. Patley's on fire. He kicks it to Hewitt. And again, the first game is combined, Richo. They are lighting it up here at the SCG.
They are, and when you can intercept mark out of your defensive 50 like that off a kick in, there's always going to be players out with your zone set up, and that's exactly what happened on that occasion. He'll make amends here. I reckon he'll kick this one.
Well, he struck the first one pretty well. He set shot just a matter of about 30 seconds ago. He's had a sighter. And entering his 3rd season at Sydney, played outstandingly for the Swans in the NEFL last year. And George Hewitt on debut kicks his first, and they get around him from everywhere.
Well, Collingwood is stunned here at the moment. They cannot get any hold on the football and transition going their way at all. They just need to be able to hold onto the ball for a minute or so and just try and get a bit of control of it. Haven't been able to do that at all in this match so far, and Sydney have been set alight by these new young first-year players.
Well, as the boys mentioned, here he is, young guy kicking his first goal at this level. Plenty of reaction there. And the vibe for Sydney at the moment, absolutely outstanding. Collingwood lefts just dawdling at the moment. Don't seem to have an answer for anything that Sydney are throwing up. Here is side bottom. Even his kick was not where it should have been. Running past the footy to Goey. Lloyd trying to keep him honest. To Goey, 1-on-4, there he was. Now Sinclair. Beautiful tackle from Hanbury. Had to get rid of it. Bannister looking on. Parker now. 1-on-1. But he's got this. He's got this. No, he hasn't. Umpire calls play on. And Collingwood through Langdon.
At half-back, he's got a lead on centre wing. It's McCaffrey pushing hard, but
They just, even that kick there, like the forward had a couple of metres and they're just not hitting their targets. So not doing that, they can't take any of the heat out of it and hold on to the footy. They just can't get 2 or 3 possessions in a row.
you saw the time in forward half stat there. It's total domination from the Swans. They go forward again through Towers, but he's got his name written all over this one. Well done, Frost again.
Just letting it come onto his chest, Buddy. He just needs to get the hands out with those ones there.
A little slow to get up, Bud, and just grab the right AC joint again.
Maybe that shoulder, yeah, it is sore. Maybe that's why he can't get the arms extended out, because if he did, he would have marked that football then. This
is Robinson kicking further afield, looking for Sinclair. Heaney's lurking dangerously off the hands of Mitchell. And the boundary thrown.
So he's still in pain there, isn't he? This is the first one of those drops. That's a low chest mark. Fair enough.
He landed on that shoulder then on that occasion, and
he should have taken it in the hands, but that shoulder could have been worrying.
Yeah, I reckon the shoulder's concerning him. He's lost a bit of confidence to put the hands out, but he would have marked that if he did.
Hanbury to tip it, bounced off his chest as well. So they're having multiple opportunities at the moment. You can see the pain written all over Buddy's face, so he's definitely not comfortable. Probably had a little bit of a jab while down in the rooms, and still not comfortable with it. So it's not a great way to start the season, and then have to carry it for weeks after this, as this one's out wide, and I don't think anyone's touched that. So yet again, Collingwood give the ball up.
Well, the Swans are always been so good at forcing turnovers, but tonight they're absolutely elite in that area.
Robinson, not a first gamer, but a fifth gamer, so he's still very young. Good fly at the ball. Marley Williams, Taylor Adams, handball. Didn't quite hit the target, so nothing working here at the moment. Lloyd mops up, gives a little ball to Hewitt, comes back here, Robinson, round the corner, plenty of space in there again. Trap ball, well done Towers, not sure what to do with it, gave it to the left footer, Buddy. He goes back, hasn't quite got the legs on the kick, off hands. And Collingwood defenders arrive on Nass, and you can see Maynard couldn't take it out of bounds then, as he perhaps would have done last year.
That's the new rule. They are going to police that with a lot of ferocity if you go anywhere near deliberate out of bounds. So they've kept this one alive, and I like it. Now trying to fight his way hard through was Taylor Adams in there. Spills out the lead by Greenwood, and a poor disposal. Although Zach Jones dropped one he definitely should have taken. Recovery was good. Kick into the corridor is exceptional. And they're away. The first game of Mills. What a talent this young boy is. A deep kick has been marked very nicely back there by Jack Frost.
Just shows you the difference up. You can hit that kick like Jones just did then into the corridor. Just opens the whole game up for you. Collingwood just haven't been able to do that.
Just shows you that pre-season form means nothing. Collingwood have looked sparkling in the pre-season, and Sydney have looked ragged.
They're butchering the ball, though, Collingwood, by feet. They're just giving it back to the Swans.
Boy, are they ever. Ramsey probably should have gone then. Wonderful trap here, Parker. Getting back Brown, but this will be in a spot where Sydney like it.
He copped a bit of a knock there, Luke Parker. Gee, you forget how big an impact he had when he broke his leg last year and missed the last part of the season. So important to the Swans, such a tough player, skillful player, crashing to the ground there, but he's up and right to go.
Sinclair, Mitchell, barely had time to get it on his boot, and he kicks his second goal.
Well, there's the Sydney crowd, and there's plenty of them in here tonight, enjoying being here at the SCG. They haven't seen Collingwood play here since 2001.
Big crowd tonight.
Yeah, they've been out at ANZ for all those years. So they're rapt to be back here, and they're watching the Swans turn it on. That was fantastic from Mitchell. Just snapped it out of the pack. That's his second goal. They've got an elite midfield. It's hard to stop all of them.
Of course, Richo, they were here round 20 last year.
Sorry.
Yes.
Yeah. He just should not have been able to get goal side then, though. That was far too easy at that stoppage. He started the wrong side and got around his man far too easily there, Tom Mitchell.
Starting to get ugly for the Pies here. 40 points is the margin. What can they do? They need to respond, and Blair is the man to send them forward. The kick was okay. Mark not taken down there by Greenwood. Back in for Solo. Good effort from Rampy. And the Swans defence arrive. Trap the ball in for a baller. Just desperately need a spark here, the Pies. They got anyone who's been a real winner to go. His tackle was pretty effective. Lloyd's kicked to defensive 50 off the hands of Sinclair. Now Pendlebury, what can the champ do? Can he impose himself on it? Worked a nice little 1-2 with Treloar under pressure. Pendlebury, this will be a brilliant effort. Can he steer it home? He couldn't. And I'd love to get the ball in his hands a little more, Scott Pendlebury. That was disposal number 7. They need to find something quick.
Absolutely, they do, Das. Just the last minute or two has been a little better from them, but no result just yet. Here's a better numbers for Collingwood. 3-on-1, Sinclair, good grab. It's back inside here, short ball, Ramsey. Barely the required journey. You can see the man on the mark cannot go to the side to stop them kicking to Sinclair anymore. That is no longer allowed.
I don't know if I can remember Cloak being in a marking contest yet. He's down the line here now.
Hasn't touched the footy yet, Richo.
So he gets ignored. Go over his head. Pendlebury at the back, able to edge his man under the ball. A little bit of pressure now coming here from Mitchell, who did well. He didn't panic there for Solo. Laidler did really well. Really well. And now Rampy just sent it along the boundary.
Yeah, had to keep it in, and Sinclair was all over it for the Pies. As a flying shot at the goal man, Sinclair, and never really looked like it was going through for a major.
Yeah, 32 inside 50s to 14 now, and I just haven't seen Cloak involved at all.
Short one came out to Grundy, and he's got Tippett, who's pushed up to half-back. Over that run from Zach Jones, dropped the footy and sold himself into a huge amount of pressure. Nathan Brown's tackle was good. So too was Tippett's effort to regather it. Brown got it back again. So maybe a bit of a spark here for the Pies. They've trapped it inside forward 50. And they get another look at it, but a little bit to think about for that man on screen at the moment, Nathan Buckley.
Hey, but at least they've had the ball in their forward half now for a couple of minutes. They've had a few repeat inside 50s.
So there he was, Trav Cloak, statless. 12 minutes into the second quarter here. He's played 42 minutes of the game so far, which is virtually all of it, if not all of it. Umpire decides to give Ramsey the free against Jack. So this last 3 or 4 minutes, Collingwood have maintained the ball in their forward half of the ground. Ramsey, high ball, Moore. A little nudge there. Umpire says nothing in it. Play on. Fasolo used his head as a battering ram. Won't get it free that way. Here's Blair. Says get out of the way, Moore. They bowl in. Crisp's there as well. And a ball up.
So the problems Collingwood had last year with their ball use is continuing here tonight as we have a look at Fasolo, and they're good to see him out there after falling on his head in that first quarter.
The tackle pressure, Richard, in the last couple of minutes has increased. Yeah. Talia again gets forced over, so just been able to maintain this ball in their forward half of the ground for a few minutes, as BT just said. Now they'd love to convert. So Galt was behind Sinclair. Adams picked it up cleanly, got it back to Treloar. Very talented player, Treloar. The kick, not enough penetration on it. And Talia gets back for the Swans in his first game for Sydney. Oh, Sinclair, good mark. Really like his inclusion into their lineup. You know, he's a talented ruckman. He can also take a good grab. He can play a bit forward, Richo.
Well, he'd be just enjoying the opportunity to be the #1 ruckman. He's obviously didn't get that chance at the Eagles with Cox and Nat Nui.
And this ball use has created another big opportunity here. It was Tippett on his own. Frost did really well to come off Franklin and make sure he gave a contest. Now he's got an issue. He's got to get it to Marley Williams. Jack wants to keep it in. He's going to do it. The skipper, can he get it back on his left foot? Wanted to find Bud. Bud got cleaned up high again. And he's going to get a free kick. Franklin. It was Frost who crashed into him. And the high contact to be a free kick. What do you think of this one, Richard?
Yeah, he put his head down to win the footy, and it was just sloppy by Jack Frost. We know he's hard at it, Frost, but he just had, well, he was trying to win the footy as well, I guess, but Franklin just got there that split second quicker and draws the high contact.
Kicked the first goal of the game, buddy, in the first 40 seconds of this match. He's dropped a couple since. He loved that one off the boot. Buddy is back, and he's got his second.
Didn't look like missing there, Buddy. His 2 set shots tonight have absolutely split the middle. He's already been off the ground. He's had that issue with his right shoulder. Dropped a couple of marks, but he looks lively. He's been involved in the contest. A couple of goals to him. Absolute domination here. 18 shots at goal to 4. They're desperate to get into half-time and try and reorganise the Pies.
Well, this goal is a great goal. It's his second from Franklin. He's now joined the top 20 goal kickers of all time.
Who's he passed, BT?
20th position, Dick Lee, I think it is, Richo.
Collingwood
pass. Yep, absolutely. So he is just going brilliantly. 709 career goals for Buddy Franklin. What's he got? 7 years of the 10 years left.
Still got 7 to go.
High ball, and here he is again, Buddy Franklin, and I reckon the man sitting next to me, Matthew Richardson, would just be nervously counting these goals off as he edges towards your target of 800, Richo.
Well, he's going to well and truly go past that, Bristol. I reckon he can get to 1,000, Franklin.
Yeah.
And what will that make him, the 4th or 5th person to 1,000? Maybe 6. I'll have 8 or 9 guesses at it, but it hasn't been that many.
Just got a little piece of that off. He instepped a little, but he still manages to milk it right to left. Buddy's got 3. They've got 5 in a row.
Yes, there's been 5 players to 1,000 goals, so I think he'll get to 6. And that was great there. The centre clearance, he came out and took the ball overhead, didn't let it come to his chest, and this is unbelievable. I don't think anyone expected this sort of domination from Sydney. Collingwood had a lot of positive press. Everyone expected them to be big improvers, but it just shows pre-season form doesn't mean much at all once you get to round 1.
This is the worry for Jack Frost at the moment now. He's just getting that separation. He can't be that far away from Buddy Franklin. Needs to be right with him, be able to get some body on him. Test out his shoulder a little bit too. Put him under a little bit of physical pressure. When Buddy's got that sort of space, he's going to mark it every time and just dominate.
Well, one area that the Pies were okay at in the first quarter was the clearances, but even there now they're getting flogged. Here they go again, Sydney.
Just loved a little bit of a lip read from Buddy, who's saying to Dean Towers, why don't you get up out the way? Just create a bit of space at the moment. I've got 3.
He's starting to feel it.
Oh, he is indeed. And there's still 8.5 minutes remaining. He's just saying, clear out, everyone. I'm ready to fire again.
Well, he's going to get it here.
Oh, it's a good lead too, and just didn't see him until late. They kick it over Buddy's head, and they've got Tippett down there to compete as well. Pies get a lot of numbers back. Been a really tough start to the year for them. They haven't fired a shot really. Maynard's handball ricocheted back into his lap almost, and now Ramsey's in there trying to fight hard. Swans are able to contain it. Once again, deep in attack.
A massive 50-point differential here at the moment. Sydney have been quite brilliant here in the first half of footy. Goes Towers back to the middle of the ground. Caught behind on that occasion was Jones. Doesn't matter though. Rampy was there trying to tidy things up. McCaffer. For those that have just joined us, Dane Swan has an injury. Doesn't look like he'll take any further part in the game, we believe. Here's McCaffer pushing towards the boundary line. He wants the boundary line, won't get it from there. Kept it alive. Cloak still yet to touch the ball here. Travis Cloak, and we've played, well, nearly into red time in the second quarter. And that's a rarity in his career. Cunningham receives at half-back. They go again.
They're just out everywhere here.
Seem to have spares everywhere, Richo. Hewitt's played an absolute ripper as a first gamer. And now Towers will mark.
You know what? They're just forcing the turnovers, and it's just a free fall the other way for Sydney at the moment. Collingwood cannot hold on to the football, and if you can't do that, it's just going to be like this the other way. The defence is under siege.
This to make it 6 Sydney goals in a row and a massive 56-point lead on offer here for Sydney. Dean Towers likes his work. Goal, 6 in a row, Sydney.
And there's Travis Cloak, who hasn't touched the football yet. It's not entirely his fault. Let's be honest, the ball's hardly been near him tonight. 15 inside 50s. And it's just the ball use that they force the turnover, Sydney, and then they're prepared to pull the trigger, get it into the corridor, and they've just got numbers out everywhere going back the other way.
Six unanswered goals in this quarter. They've kicked 9 of the last 10, as you can see there on the right of your screen. Buddy's got 3 in the first half, and their debutants, Mills, Hewitt and Papley, have all been outstanding. You could not write the script any better if you're Horse Longmire and the Sydney Swans. He was just as good as you could have hoped for is Mills again from half-back on debut. Chris tries to get involved. Here's Hewitt. Again, the debutants combined. Back to Mills. He's going to drive it long. Franklin's down there. What can Buddy do? Off hands. Parker. He's dangerous in any situation. Spills out the tackle. Back to Heaney. Heaney tries to get it to Mitchell. Oh, they're tackling the ball from Hanbury was ferocious. Marley Williams, he had a fresh air swing. In goes Jack, fighting hard again, Hanbury. They are persevering with great style here at the moment. Lloyd to Franklin. He's going to take on a couple. He got around him. And then the short pass was brilliant from Buddy to Parker.
But Parker is a pretty handy player, Luke Parker. He was standing on his own, 20 metres out for goal for 15 seconds then. There's just options everywhere going inside 50 at the moment. The mark's in there. 12 now, 12 to 3. That's a lot at half-time of a game of footy.
Lingy mentioned the injured ankles, a broken leg to Luke Parker in round 20 versus Collingwood last year. He missed the finals, and that really devastated their chances, along with Buddy out for his well-published mental health issues. They're both back tonight, and the scoreboard is quite incredible here in the first half.
They've got a bit out too, Sydney, don't forget. They're Jared McVeigh, Sam Reid, Benny McGlynn and Gary Rowan not playing.
Ted Richards too.
Eddie Richards.
So why were so many people, including myself, and I think you, Dar, so bullish about the Pies? What gave us that hope?
I just looked at their midfield group and I was really excited about what to go in. Adams and Treloar, along with Swidebottom and Swan and Pendlebury, are going to do tonight, but it hasn't been the case.
Ball in dispute here, out wide. Grundy. Handball went nowhere in the end. Picked up by Taylor Adams. Little Chisler to the man wearing the blue wheels in the middle. Darcy Moore, have a look at those. Boots will try and get you a close-up a little later on. Moore goes inside 50. Cloak there. Now able to go at the mark side. Bottom front and centre was there, but couldn't handle the ball. Speed coming towards him. Now Talia's wrapped in the tackle, Richo.
Even that entry there, though, from the middle of the ground, just a 50-metre kick. You're not going to mark those very often. Too shallow.
Lingy, we'll just wait for this one here over the top. Kennedy did well to get a fist side. Bottom little soccer along the ground. Picked up now by Maynard. Had to back up a little. Got rid of the Heaney. Attempted tackle. Round the corner it comes. And this one will go over the line out of bounds. Who's going to replace Adam Goods as a goal kicker? He normally kicks 25, 30 goals a year, Lingy. Who's going to do that for Sydney this year?
We'll get Lingy in a second. Interested to get Lingy's thoughts on not only that, but just what the Pies can do here in the second half, what moves they can make. It's just not been happening at all for a side that we thought had great form in the NAB Cup. Lingy, what can they do? What moves can they make?
Well, it seems strange. They've got to get the ball there where they've got the ball into the hands of Scotty Pendlebury. I reckon they need to keep going. Give Travis Cloak, who's been absolutely terrible so far in this first half, a chance in a one-on-one situation. Sydney are back now. They've got numbers there. Darcy Moore's going to get it one-on-one, but Sydney defenders help each other really well. Move it quicker when they get the chance to do it.
But even that kick again, then it was going long, but it was going long from almost the centre of the ground. You need to get a mark 60 or 70 metres out, then wheel and go long and get it in a little bit deeper. It's just been poor entries when they do go inside 50, Collingwood.
Ball up 20 metres from Collingwood's goal here. Got a crack at it to Goey. Mitchell. Lloyd back to Mitchell. Got to find it now. Committed the body. Sinclair did really well. To Goey trying hard in there, but the numbers around the ball. Franklin was hassled out of it by Adams Brown. Handball. Now Langdon. Careful ball here. Went wide. McCaffer had it spoiled away there. Now Hanbury. Tagoe couldn't get hold of him. Little kick out wide to Cunningham. Tried to mop it up. Sidebottom runs it away. Did he take it out of bounds? I thought he did. Maynard to keep it alive.
He's competed hard, still Sidebottom. He hasn't had a heap of mates, to be honest, alongside him. Blair's working hard, trying to trap it in, but getting back is Kieran Jack. He's been super clean, Jack. Releases Zach Jones. This kick through the corridor, quite where he intended it to go. Marley Williams mops it up. Langdon gets involved, so Sidebottom will be possession number 14.
Jake Lloyd's having a career night out as well. He's up to 21. He's 7 contested.
Turned it on big time, hasn't he, Lloyd? Sinclair's kick. Again, it's an entry that you just wouldn't want as a forward. Like, Blair might make something of it. Can he kick a goal? Was he legged? Umpire calls play on, and Blair misses one from 15 metres out.
Das, you asked the question about what Collingwood can do. We spoke about ball movement. I must say, first and foremost, you're not going to be anywhere near in a game of football when you're minus 25 in contested possession. Sydney have just been hungrier at the contest, better in the one-on-one situations. Collingwood have got to fix that up before they worry about their ball movement.
Good grab from Georgie Hewitt.
Hey, Lee, can you give some perspective to that? That is as big a smashing as you can have in a half of football, isn't it, in contested possession?
Yeah, that's off the charts, Das. You're not even going to be close in a game, no matter how good a kick you are, how good your skills are. If your opposition is having 25 more opportunities to win the ball in a contest, to release players, that adds handball receives, running plays, brings them into the game, you're going to get smashed. And Sydney have been brilliant in it. Collingwood very, very ordinary in it.
You just wonder the distractions of the last few days, if mentally you're just a little bit off coming into the game, because
It's a good point, Richo.
they haven't been anywhere near it right from the start.
It's a very good point. They had so much enthusiasm built up, and already that's been drained from their bottom. Their bodies here. Here's Maynard. Kept it alive, Langdon there. Hanbury as well.
Talking, of course, Bristol, about the newspaper article speculating about illicit drug use and leaked.
Well, you're right.
That's unconfirmed numbers, of course, but it can't help.
It's just a distraction, though. You get up here wanting to feel good about your footy and go into round one, and you're being followed around by cameras asking all the questions you don't want to be asked going into round one. You want to be talking about the footy in your pre-season.
So down the last minute of the first half here. Swan has not reappeared. Looks like he's gone. Here's Nathan Brown. Taylor Adams, just a chiseler there. Beautiful running in the middle from Greenwood. Picked it up very fluently as well. Didn't get the kick away quick enough. In my book there, Laidler got a little handle. And here they go on the counter-attack now. An opportunity for Zach Jones to work it out wide. He does to Hanbury. Here's Buddy. Buddy's going to mark it low to ground. 35 seconds, and this is well within the Buddy range.
And he does like kicking them from this side of the ground, BT, with his left foot out. I've seen him nail a heap of these over the years.
Watched him in the warm-up at the other end make these with ridiculous ease in terms of distance. Let's have a look at him, looking for his fourth first-half goal. Familiar approach. Oh, magnificent hit of the ball! Buddy's back! 4 first-half goals! And Buddy Franklin, amazing kick.
He loves them, and here he is here, though. Look at him. He's inside 50 here. This is a guy that's kicked over 700 goals, and he has no pressure on him at all. That is too easy. This guy is a superstar, and he had no pressure on him inside 50 for 10, 15 seconds.
That's almost his favourite spot on a ground to kick a football from, which is bizarre for a left footer. Normally, he'd prefer to be up the other side, but he gets that bend going. He shapes it left to right. And what a great sight that is for football to see. It's one of the game's greats, smiling. He's out there, and he's got 4 first-half goals, and he loves it. So a couple of seconds remaining, not enough you would think to score. And that will be relief for the Magpies, but the story here is all about that man, Buddy Franklin. A little weak, he's got the strut back up, and the Sydney Swans have just decimated Collingwood in the first half. 62 points is the lead. Let's get down to ground level with Cameron Ling.
I've got the skipper here, Kieran Jack. Well, Kiss, what a half of footy. Your contested work was brilliant, your ball movement was brilliant. You've got to be happy with that.
Yeah, pleasing first half. You know, that's a standard we want to play at, and that's a challenge now going forward. We've got to maintain it for the next half.
And it just seemed that the guys got up and about. Buddy kicking the first goal of the game. He's kicked 4 in that first half. Love having the big fella back.
Oh, mate, it's round 1. I mean, we're back here at the SCG. Everyone loves it. It's a packed house, so yeah, it's good to have him back.
Thanks for your time, mate. All the best in the second half. Well, it's all Sydney.
Just a tad understated there from Kieran Jack. What an incredible half of football. Sydney fans must be delighted. Written off by plenty going into the season. And Magpie fans, I'm not sure what that was, but they're going to have to do a heck of a lot better. All right, plenty to come. We'll look at the game both at the SCG and at Etihad Stadium and wrap up the afternoon. A thrilling one if you're a Melbourne fan. They got over the line. And, of course, the Gold Coast had a 61-point win over Essendon. Plenty more to come on Super Saturday. All the games, of course, right here on Fox Footy.